I hope I'm not the only one. I really love when we have a video here and we just talk about friendships because that is one of my favorite themes, things to find in manga, and we're going to talk about some really good ones today. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. I am just really pumped for this prompt. I think I said that twice by accident, but shout out to channel and Patreon members because this was a suggested prompt, and when I saw it I was like, oh my goodness, I'm on board. Yes. And that is best friend groups. I struggled initially a little bit with this because when I think of best friend groups, I'm thinking of plural, so more than just two friends, because I'm like, I have plenty of manga. Like I was thinking of Love Me, Let Me Not from Inosaki Saka. I love that manga very much, and I was thinking of the two girls. Like, they are amazing. I love their friendship. I love as it grows throughout the series. But I'm like, they're mainly two girls. I mean, I guess you could say the two girls and the two guys, but I don't know. It just wasn't quite what I was looking for. So for all my picks, I did 3 or more. And one of them, honestly, let's just go ahead and start with that one for number 1. These are in no certain order. I'm going to say my love story with Takeo, Yamato, and Tsunekawa. And I thought really hard about this because I sort of struggled. I feel like Takeo and Tsunekawa, like, they are best friends. Like, they've been best friends. And so I feel like this is a little bit iffy, but when Takeo starts liking Yamato and they start dating, I am just blown away of how the creator makes Tsunekawa never be a third wheel in this like friendship slash relationship. It just blows my mind because I mean, even in the like volume 14 when we got like the, not spinoff, but like the short story, bonus story or whatever, Tsunekawa still, even when they're older, he still feels like a part of this trio. And it's one of my favorite parts because you guys know I love Tsunekawa. Like, he is amazing. I have a video featuring him in the top 10 best shoujo boys for me because he's just fantastic. But I really just feel that despite that it starts off with two guys being best friends, and obviously they continue to be best friends through the entire series, but even when a girl gets involved and Takeo likes Yamato, there's never a point where I felt like Takeo and Tsunekawa's friendship is like pushed to the side, or even like Tsunekawa, like they just push to the side, like he's not even involved. And even though Tsunekawa and Yamato do not hang out a lot like solo, I still feel like this is a really great best friend group that they would all, well, they all do, like we see that at numerous points, that they actively all engage and talk to one another, encourage one another. They're there for each other in the ups and downs, and I just couldn't shake how incredible that kind of storytelling is, because I feel like, at least in real life, I don't know a lot about in manga, but I'm sure it does happen, I don't have any examples coming to mind right now, is that when a guy or a girl starts dating somebody else, they sort of push their close friend or close friends to the side, but that never happens in my love story. Sure, is there a little bit of like more focus on Takeo Yamato having a date or something like that? Sure. But again, Tsunekawa is there not as a background character. He's still a central part of this series in every single volume. There's just certain chapters with a little bit of a different focus. And I loved my love story for that. And I do have a video review if you're curious about all the thoughts on this. And I think it's why, again, this series came to mind, because it's like this morning I was thinking, if you could see it, I was thinking of Condition Called Love. I was thinking Condition Called Love would be great. The friendship groups and that are fantastic. But I'm like, my love story is still something that's above for me. Not saying a Condition Called Love doesn't have good friendships. Not saying that. Nobody come for me because I love the friendships and that. But I think there's just something very special about my love story that I think of like, man, I love the romance, but the friendship, I love that so much more. And I knew I wanted to feature it today, and I really hope that it counts for this prompt because, again, I was trying to think of like examples of where Tsunekawa and Yamato, that they're talking when Takeo is not there. I don't know how I would feel about that if like they talked too much if Takeo wasn't there. Not that Tsunekawa would do anything, but I couldn't quite think of something that, like, of an example that vividly stood to mind, but just their friendship, all three of them, and how nothing changed when Takeo started dating. Like, that was absolutely incredible, and how Tsunekawa just welcomed Yamato with open arms and really just supported their relationship, and all of them continue to grow as a trio of friends through every single volume. Now for number 2, the series that first came to mind is Kimi ni Tanoke, because because oh my goodness, Sawako, Shizu, and Ayane, I love them. I love them. I remember when I first read Kimi ni Todoke, and that was like the shoujo manga that really got me into shoujo manga. Like I've talked about that before, how Library Wars was sort of my gateway, and then somewhere in there I think I read Beauty Pop after Library Wars, but Kimi ni Todoke is what got me hooked on shoujo, where I'm like, okay, I've got to go look at more manga like this, because, and so I loved volume 1, thought it was fantastic, but it was the friendship in this volume specifically that had me hooked. That was like, I adore these girls. I love seeing the differences. I mean, all 3 of these girls are so incredibly different, but yet they are so close to one another, and we see that through all 30 volumes. And even when one of the girls, like I think of Ayane, and when she's starting to be more vulnerable and transparent, and like her besties here are noticing like there's something going on here, and no matter how Ayane felt and thought they would leave, they never did. And Shizu, with her huge heart for both of these girls, despite that she has this delinquent like vibe, I loved it in Sawako. I mean, wanting the best for both of them, where she's willing to put herself in danger to a degree in this situation, where she wants to clear up this misunderstanding of how wonderful they are. And that is just the foundation of their friendship, and seeing them grow. Yes, I love Kazehaya and Sawako's relationship. I love their romance so much. But the friendship, the girl vibes in this is not to be pushed to the side just for the romance. It is beautiful, and I just feel like it is such a wonderful manga that spotlights the ups and downs of friendships, the times where you're frustrated with a friend, the time that there was a miscommunication or misunderstanding, the reconciliation that happens after that like reunion, and getting that misunderstanding out so all parties involved understand, and then they can hug like this and they can cry it out together. I love it. I love it. And I love how they try to give Sawako dating advice along the way, and how they supported her, and how each of them grew together and changed. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I love them so much, and this is definitely one of my favorite volumes, and really forming that foundation of like, this is a romantic story, yes, but it's also a story of friendship, and seeing these girls be together all through high school. I loved every single step of the way, and I definitely cried when they graduate. I won't say more about that, but I was just like, I need these girls to stay together forever, and I could just see a spin-off. Like, I would read a spin-off with them, and seeing how they just stay connected and how they continue to deeply love and care for each other. It is beautiful and so heartfelt, and one of my favorite girl friendships in series. For number 3, I feel like if I didn't have this series, well, this one and the next one, but especially this one, I feel like if I did have on this list, I might get canceled. Rightfully so, because I wouldn't say is there any better manga that focuses a wide group of friends, but it's in like up there, you know what I mean? Because Yona of the Dawn, the dragons, I mean, not just the dragons, but Yona and Hawk too. This was definitely one of the first series that came to mind that really is an incredible story of friendship. I mean, yeah, we have a little slithering of romance, but it's very rare. And honestly, this is one of the series, like if you ever went back or you've seen my video review of the series, it took me a long time to be seated for Yona and Hawk's romance, because I was here for the friendship. I genuinely, and even now, like their romance, yeah, it's great, but if I had 5 ways to pitch or sell this series, the romance would not be in my top 5. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying the friendship in this series is amazing. I love it so much. I love seeing how each of these, especially the dragons, 4 very different people from 4 very different walks of life. And then you bring in Yona with her heart, and then you bring in Hawk with his, I don't know, all that he is, and Yoon, and you just have this really incredible banter that definitely pops up on page. But through the entire series, especially as it goes on, you see how they are going to great lengths to protect the people they love, to protect their friends, because they care for them, and I would say they want nothing but the best for them, but that's very true, especially I think how the dragons feel about Yona. But it goes so much deeper than, okay, they're the dragons and, you know, all that lore with Yona. It goes so much deeper than that, and I think that's what makes Yona of the Dawn, when it comes to the friendship, even much more meaningful, is that you see that these characters are acting on their own, not because of a previous dragon or their will or their feelings. No, this is their legit feelings that they feel from their heart, because because it's just them. And I loved seeing that. Honestly, it's really hard with Yona of the Dawn because I adore the characters, but I have not overwhelmingly loved the latest arc because there's just so much pain compared to like the middle of this series when they're out, they're going, doing all these shenanigans, going on these different adventures, and you're just seeing everybody come together. And you know, when somebody gets hurt and how they're taking care of one another and how they're picking at one another, it is beautiful. And I love that. It is my favorite part of Yona of the Dawn, especially that middle and seeing everyone come together, seeing them get emotional, and seeing even when the romance starts coming out and how supportive everybody is. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. It really shows the joy and the beauty of friendship and how it is a powerful thing when you're feeling so low and you feel the whole world has betrayed you, which I wouldn't blame Yona considering how the beginning of the series starts off. But as she goes along the way and she gets to know these characters, gets to know these people, form this real connection, again, that goes out of the whole dragon thing. I never thought about maybe that is why I love the friendship so much, is because I remember there is a line, I've tried finding it because I remember when I read it the first time and being so irked because Gija is one of my best boys, him and Senha, but Gija's in my top 5 characters that I most relate to. And I remember Jaeha saying something to him of like, you're just doing this out of a sense of loyalty because of a previous dragon, and why would you live your life around this whole prophecy? Go live out your life and be free. And I remember being so triggered by Jaeha's words because I'm like, dude, I'm that kind of person. If I was in Gija's shoes, yes, I would be doing the exact same thing. But then you see Jaeha, a character who was so against this prophecy and so against his heart was telling him and his body was telling him, like so against this, genuinely come to love Yona and befriend her because he made that choice. All these characters made the choice, and anybody could say, well, of course you make the choice to be friends with somebody, but again, in light of the events, in light of the prophecy and everything that's happening, these characters choose to go out of their way and befriend one another. And no matter how bleak things are, they still continue to believe in one another. They still continue to love and care for one another. And it is beautiful. It is fantastic. And so I knew for sure that Yona of the Dawn had to be on this list because it is incredible writing when it comes to friendship. I mean, incredible writing as a whole, but especially for today's prompt specifically, that friendship and those friendship vibes are everything. And if you're looking for a series that's set in a fantasy setting and you want to see where it's not, I wouldn't say like easy making friends, but there's a lot of hurdles that have to be overcome before this friendship can really bloom and we see the love and care that they have for one another. This is such a great one that I would highly recommend. Now, granted, talking about fantasy and you want something a little bit more like slice of life, but you want all those friendship vibes, Scenario the Red Hair, that's for number 4. This was definitely another one that came instantly to mind that I felt like had to be on this list. I adore Scenario with the Red Hair. I adore these characters. I love them. They are all special to me. And I was like, man, why can't I have a series cover like this? Though granted, if you've seen the latest volume cover in Japan of Scenario with the Red Hair, it is sort of similar to this where we have our side gang with Obi and Kiki and whatnot. I chose this one because I really love this cover. But anyway, I love Shirayuki's journey and she's amazing. And I think it's amazing because I love the romance so much of this series. And I know several people, or not several people, I've seen several reviews, I should say, where people are like, I just want more Shirayuki and Zen's romance. And I 100% get that. But I feel like there's something so special of how this series emphasizes friendship. I mean, we see right from the beginning with Shirayuki's journey when she's going to, was it Wistria? But when she's going to Zen's country and she, falls in love with him and she tells him, I'm always going to be your friend first. And then, we will be lovers kind of thing. I'm probably butchering that and I do apologize because I didn't quite look up that specific line. But I just remember that there's a time where she's like, I will always be your friend, Zen. I came here and you were the first person that befriended me. And she wants to stand by his side as a friend, obviously as lovers too. But I find that really incredible. Like if I was her, I feel like I would not try and fight to be a herbalist, that I would be like, you know what? I don't need to stand by Zen's side. side and have like my own value when it comes to like being by his side as somebody like that's in this kingdom. I'm his lover. That is more than enough for me to stand by his side. But Shirayuki is not like that. And so because of her journey, because of this mindset, she goes on this incredible adventure meeting so many different people. I mean, we have our main gang that I absolutely love, especially like with Obi and right here. Like this is our main gang right here. There's so many moments. I don't even think I could pinpoint one specific thing, one given moment, like with the Dawn. Yeah, there's not just one set moment where you're like, okay, this is what I've been looking for and it's finally happened. It is like, this is the series I have been looking for, and the friendship vibes continues to grow, continues to change. And even when they are far apart, even when they've gone to different cities, they still keep in touch and they have these reunions that are so wonderful. And it's like they were never far from each other right from the start. And it's another beautiful series that I love the friendship vibes so much. Though I feel like, unlike with Yona, I do want more of the romance. But I really like Lilius when they go to that city. I love the new friends that they made and how important and dear those people have come to Shirayuki. And just like our original gang, you know, I feel the same way. I almost cried, honestly, when Shirayuki went to Lilius. And I'm like, no, like, don't separate our group, because when they're together, the bond is strong. And you see again just how much they deeply care for each other, how they want nothing but the best for the other person. And they see each and every individual chasing after their dreams, having this goal. And they're like, I will do everything I can to support you so you can meet that goal. And I will cheer for you every single step of the way. And that's exactly what they do in this series. The friends are always supporting one another. And if somebody needs a call out, there will be a call out depending on the person. Sometimes it's pretty gentle, and then other times, no, it's not very gentle. But they are there for each other. Another series that just shows the beauty of friendship and spotlighting how great it is to have friends around you who care for you, and how wonderful of a privilege and honor it is to be able to befriend those very same people and support them as well. I love it so much. I mean, the friendship, again, is absolutely incredible. I mean, it really doesn't matter, I feel like, what arc we're in, what volume we're in, you are going to see those friendship vibes shine and radiate on page, and I'm always here for it. It is a beautiful, beautiful adventure with, again, many friends along the way, some with our original gang, some with the new ones, but every single moment there is always the original OG best friend group here stands firm, stands strong, no matter what is happening, no matter chaotic things, no matter how easy things are. You know that they will be steady, and you know when they reunite that they will celebrate one another and just celebrate the joys of life side by side. For number 5, I sort of debated putting this one on here, not because I feel like he doesn't deserve to be on here, but because I've already featured a work by this creator, but I love her work so much. She's definitely one of my favorite mangaka, and we only have one volume out, but this volume, because of this growing best friend group, really stood out to me as why I loved it so much, and that is A Star Brighter Than the Sun. I did a first impression on this, and I mentioned in that video that the friendship between the 3 girls really stood out to me. And because all 3 of these girls are very different. I mean, you have our female lead who is absolutely amazing, but she's very quiet, and she feels, she feels very insecure about her height because she is a big girl, aka she's just really tall, and she has been picked on for that, or people call her out for that, and like, whoa, you're so tall, like abnormally tall, like come on, let's have a little bit more respect, please. But then she meets this girl here, I am blanking on her name, but she meets her, and she comes across as this very pretty girl who's all about romance, likes to gossip about boys, and just love life, very different than our main female lead. And then she meets another girl. Let me see if I can get, actually this probably be the best picture, but she is the girl right here with the glasses, who is much more strict and not afraid to say what she's thinking in a very blunt way, where other people may feel very awkward. Wouldn't say uncomfortable, but there was a moment where like, this is really awkward, because she's like, I don't like nicknames, just call me by my name. And they're like, oh, okay, you just sort of ruined the moment, but all right. I loved their friendship vibes. I'm gonna come out and just say I think they're going to be best friends. And the reason I say that is because going back to what I was saying with my love story in the third wheeling and how Sunokawa was never treated that way, when a character says that they like somebody and then another character in the same friend group likes somebody, obviously that could cause problems. That can cause some strife. And I feel like when the news comes out in this friend group that two girls like the same dude, one of the girls is like, why didn't you tell me? And backs off immediately. Like there's none of this unnecessary drama that's going to be ongoing. There's none of this sobbing because now that character seems to hate the other character and now it's a rivalry to see who can win that guy's heart first. Like there is none of that. There is just this understanding and excitement for the other person that really, really impressed me, that we just have this open and honest communication right from volume 1. That was honestly very, very incredible to me. And I really love just how different these three girls are and how they're already supporting one another, like not just when it comes to romance, but I feel like with this girl here who's very blunt, she seems very much an observer and she knows things about our female lead that the female lead has voiced internally and we as the reader know, but nobody else knows. And yet she seems to already realize and know. And so I feel like because they're so different and they're already forming a friendship from the start, oh yeah, hands down, they are going to be a best friend group. I could not see it any other way. And I do know, like from the Japanese covers, like I've seen all three girls on the cover before. So I really feel like my prediction here or what I'm feeling is correct and it's going to continue to bloom. And if it doesn't, I will be heartbroken and I will come cry to you later. But I love the romance in this one as well. But I do feel like those friendship vibes, I am very excited to see. And I'm pretty sure I said that in my video as well. Like I'm seated for this. I want to see how things go because this creator also did high school debut. When I saw the very beautiful girl in this one, I thought she was gonna be like Yo's sister. And I was like, please, no. I was on guard the entire volume. And then just to see how she was like, oh, well, if you like him too, it's fine. I'm gonna support you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong. I think that's part of why this really stood out to me is because I was unsure with how different they are, if they could really connect and really bond. But yes, they are in this first volume. So that is one thing I'm very stoked to see more of and really hope that we do. And I think it's going to be something just like these other series, very beautiful and very satisfying because as you can see with all of these, I deeply love friendship vibes in manga, whether it's all girls or all boys, because I did think of Play It Cool Guys, but I decided not to feature it because I already have my list locked in and I was ready and excited to talk about all of these. But I would love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite manga that you've read that have great best friend groups or trios? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!